Despite a lot of them focusing on other things at the moment, the Flat Earth community continue to pump out the content. And you may not be surprised to hear that it is constant, unadulterated fail. This is the Flat Earth Fail Compilation 21. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a quick nod and thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Raycon. Raycon is disrupting the electronics industry by designing premium wireless audio for half the price without compromise. They're doing things differently than other brands out there, from the way they design their products to the way they price them. Raycon prioritises their customer experience from start to finish. Co-founded by Ray J, celebrities like Mike Tyson are obsessed with Raycons. Raycon earbuds give you 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass and a more compact design for a comfortable noise isolating fit. If you're trying to take a bit of a break from screens but don't want to feel totally unplugged, then Raycon wireless earbuds are the best way to bring your favourite content with you wherever you go. For example, I re-listen to the Simon Dan podcast to make sure each episode is as good as I can make it. Check that out too, by the way. Raycon also offers their wireless earbuds in a range of fun colours and patterns with a variety of fit options and no dangling wires or stems. Plus, they offer a free 45-day return policy if you're not happy. Just click on the link in the description or visit buyraycon.com/SimonDan to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. Right, back to today's video where we have another 4 Flat Earth fails ripe for your consumption, and we start with our old friend Daniel Pratt.
The Globe priests are trying real hard to discredit the last video I put up regarding NASA putting a camera on the moon, as well as the thumbnail I put up having to do with the video. I'm drawing a blank. Why am I drawing a blank?
You all right there, Daniel?
Potter's Clay put up a little while ago regarding the astronauts on the moon and that there is no atmosphere to carry them along with the momentum of Earth when they're jumping and hopping around. That the moon rotates at 10 miles per hour. So there's no way they could hop and land in the same place.
Ah, not this again. Honestly, I've had enough of this argument.
Of course, the moronic globe priests, the scientism preaching globe priests, come along and say, oh, conservation of momentum. Of course, they never want to mention that it is angular momentum we are talking about.
Oh, you've put your foot in it there, Daniel. Angular momentum is not measured in miles per hour. The angular velocity of the moon as it rotates is around 0.5 degrees per hour. So...
And it is impossible to conserve angular momentum once an item is detached from whatever is rotating.
Giving a lecture on physics at a university near you soon, Daniel Pratt.
They will constantly come with a figure skater when they do those spins, those really fast spins, and claim that's conservation of angular momentum. Okay, it is. But the figure skater would be Earth. Have the figure skater hold something in their hand while they're spinning and then let go of it. See what happens.
Well, it would fly off, wouldn't it? Because the angular velocity of an ice skater is much, much faster than the Earth, isn't it? Which is...
a 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh yeah, that conservation of momentum is instantly transformed to linear momentum. And whatever's in her hand will fly off on a linear tangent. And that's how the conservation of that momentum will be carried out. Never will it continue on in angular momentum and follow that figure skater around in circles. Then they'll say, get on a merry-go-round. Have it go 10 miles an hour. Stand on the very outer edge where you're standing and the ground is passing you. So you're on the very outside edge and jump straight up. see what happens. You will fly off of that merry-go-round. Guaranteed.
Yes, but a merry-go-round is extremely small compared to the Earth, isn't it? Radius matters. The angular velocity of a merry-go-round going 10 miles per hour with a radius of 1 metre is a staggering 900,000 degrees per hour. And as I said before, the moon's is half a degree per hour.
It's called physics.
And you've got it bang wrong.
You globe priests should try it sometime. Why is it every time you show your conservation of momentum, it is linear momentum? Show us conservation, show us a drone taking off from anything and conserving angular momentum. You can't, because physics demands it's impossible. But you keep coming and just saying the same thing, even though we've debunked it 1,000,000 times.
Slight exaggeration. How about this for you? Beautiful. Job done? I thought so. Right, next up is the legend himself, Mr. Dean Wright. I can't not include him at the moment. Away you go, Dean.
Good afternoon, people. Down on the beach here today. It's a beautiful, clear, crystal day. I'm just going to pan back here.
Pan back. Lol.
This ship here, from my point, is about 3 miles away. Now, this is a Black Swan video. Come and put it into the middle of the frame here. The ball Earth curvature calculator says it should start at 2.73 miles away. Now, so if that's the case, this ship here should be just dipping behind the horizon line, but it's sitting on the apparent horizon. Now, what I'm going to do is...
But Dean, you're up on the beach. This means your horizon will be slightly further away. Plus, how far away is that ship?
This is for people who aren't aware of what the Black Swan is, okay? And this is how it works. Now I'm going to pan left. You can see these mountains behind me here, the White Hills. They're about 20 odd miles away. I'm going to pan. There's a ship here sitting on the apparent horizon line. Okay, it's not going behind any bulge that's supposed to start at 2.73 miles. Okay, so bear that in mind. I'm going to keep panning. I'm going to come in again. The ship here, sitting on an apparent horizon line. Okay, that's about 4 miles away.
About? Dean, none of this is proving anything.
Now, I'm going to keep panning. This island here is sitting at about 15 to 20 miles away. And it looks like, apart from the haze that's bouncing up from the surface, it's sitting on an apparent horizon line, okay? This one here, 22 miles away and sitting on an apparent horizon line. Do you get what I'm saying here, guys?
No, because this is clearly an elevated piece of land.
Where's the curvature that's supposed to start at 2.73 miles? It's not anywhere, is it?
Now, I've been reliably informed that Dean is filming here at the Firth of Forth in Scotland. Now, if that is the case, then Dean, where the bloody hell is Norway?
No, it's flat. Look at this one here. 2 ships, 15 to 20 miles away.
He's just pulling numbers from his behind now, isn't he?
Both sitting on an apparent horizon line. I'm going to keep panning. There you go, 2 oil rigs sitting at about 5 miles away. I'm going to pan back so you can get some idea of how far away they are. Yeah. So that's sitting at 5 miles away on an apparent horizon line, and there's another rig behind it, probably another couple of miles, sitting on an apparent horizon line.
Now, I tried to do a bit of research here, and I couldn't find any specifics on these oil rigs, but I can guarantee you that those two there are not 2 miles apart. If anyone wants to confirm that and let me know, anyone local to the area of course, then please do.
So where's the curvature? Where's the hump at 2.73 miles?
And where's Norway?
It's not anywhere to be seen. You know why? Because there is no curvature. It's flat, guys, and it's observably so. Your eyes do not lie. Pseudoscience lies. Theories tell you lies. Assumptions and fallacies tell you lies. Reality doesn't tell you any lies, because reality tells you that it's flat. So where's the hump at 2.73 miles? Nowhere. Your eyes don't deceive you.
I disagree, Dean. They absolutely do. But for now, let's leave Dean to his panning and panning, shall we? Right, next up is the main man himself, Mr. Level Earth Observer. What have you got for us today, buddy?
Gravity is simply a description in which the way things fall. People like myself don't deny that. What I do deny are the silly heliocentric stories attached to that natural phenomenon.
So this is a new one. Level Earth Observer does think that gravity is a thing. Well, good sir, you have elevated yourself in my estimations.
Okay. On our screen here, we've got the globe theory, and we've got 2 points of reference. Tower Crane A, Tower Crane B. Tower Crane A is in the north, Tower Crane B is at the equator. Tower Crane A is 100 feet tall and is supposedly spinning 515 miles an hour. Tower Crane B is at the equator, is 1,000 feet tall and is supposedly spinning at 1,025 miles an hour.
Oh, and we go back again. Not this angular versus linear momentum thing again, honestly, come on.
Now, as I've stated in many of my videos, on a non-windy day, every tower crane and pendulum on Earth will be dead still. Of course, the globe believers will cite gravity as the reason for that.
No we won't. We'll cite Newton's first law. The Earth spins constantly, which you can quite clearly prove. An object will remain at rest or a constant speed unless acted upon by an outside force. We rotate at a constant speed, therefore we don't feel it. Gravity doesn't really have anything to do with this.
But as we're about to see here, the gravity story that's attached to the natural phenomenon of things falling just doesn't cut it here as we look at these two scenarios. Bearing in mind, every pendulum on Earth proves scientifically the Earth isn't spinning anyway.
That's a laugh because the exact opposite is true here.
You've only got to look at the globe evidence that's cited to somehow prove that tower cranes could be dead still on a spinning ball, and you get a bottle of water on a train. They can't even give you a demonstration involving a pendulum. So we already know the spinning globe's ridiculous.
Here's a clip to show Newton's first law in action.
But let's address the gravity story here that goes to try and justify this silly spin. So between these two cranes, we've got a difference of 900 feet. One's 900 feet taller and is doing 500 miles an hour faster than the other. And yet on a non-windy day, I'm supposed to believe gravity can affect one crane that's 100 foot tall and is doing 500 miles an hour. Yet thousands of miles away, it can affect another crane that's 900 foot taller and is doing 500 miles an hour faster, and yet make them both seem exactly the same, dead still. Now, no one denies things fall down, but those things falling down, whatever causes that, doesn't change the molecular structure of water, and it doesn't make the reality of tower cranes being dead still on a spinning ball true. Just doesn't.
No one is saying that it is Level Earth Observer. This is a more glorious fail than I thought it was. You generally don't even understand the heliocentric model that you're trying to attack. Let's leave LEO to his colossal misunderstanding, shall we? And move on to our final video today, which is from the king of fake flat earthers himself, Mr. Nathan Oakley. He seems to think that one of his guests, who is not a flat earther, has debunked the moon landing. This should be interesting.
Is Earth like a closed train? Closed container then? In your example, Earth's a closed train?
In effect, yes.
But Earth's closed. How did men get to the moon again?
For all practical purposes, it is a closed system.
So for practical purposes of going to the moon, it's closed, they can't?
For practical purposes, if you want...
They can't go to the moon. For practical purposes, it's closed, so men can't go to the moon. According to Rumpus, it's closed. We're closed, right?
For practical purposes...
Closed.
Of course, what the Rumpus is referring to here is that yes, the Earth is, for all intents and purposes, a closed system when it comes to matter. There is a very small exchange of gas from our atmosphere to space, not because of the second law of thermodynamics, of course, and there's meteorites as well, etc., but generally it's a closed system.
So we can't go to the moon. It's not practical because it's closed. According to Rumpus, it's closed. For all practical purposes, Earth is closed. According to Rumpus,
For practical purpose...
Earth is closed like a train, therefore men can't go to the moon.
Practical purposes, if you want to consider the whole Earth system, it is like a closed system.
So you can't go to the moon then, because it's for all practical purposes closed, and therefore matter can't leave.
Having a naturally closed system does not mean there's some sort of barrier or dome. We use technology and science, and we use them to leave Earth.
Just a few molecules of matter doesn't make it...
A few molecules? It's a spaceship, a few molecules.
In comparison to the Earth...
Is a spaceship a few molecules, or is it an absolutely massive amount of matter that wouldn't be able to leave if it was closed? Yeah, we must be closed, or we wouldn't have gas pressure to breathe.
Well, a spaceship is tiny compared to Earth, isn't it, Nathan?
If it was open, the gas would fill the sky vacuum. So Rumpus is saying, for all practical purposes, men can't go to the moon, because we're in a closed system. We agree. Welcome to the violation of natural law that is outer space. Space is fake. We must be in a closed system. And according to Rumpus, for all practical purposes, we are.
So, for instance, if you want to consider if you were the size of an atom, you wouldn't have to worry about gravity, really.
What if I was the size of a spaceship? Would I have to worry about the Earth being closed?
I think that Nathan completely understands Rumpus's point here, but is being deliberately obtuse to try and sway his naive audience.
But for spaceships, you can regard it as open, but...
For spaceships, we can have a completely contrasting scenario where it's not closed. If spaceships are moving out into the violation of natural law sky vacuum, then it's open, not closed.
The Earth is fundamentally a closed system, just...
So we wouldn't have men travelling to the moon then, it's fundamentally closed, right? They must be lying then, if for all intents and purposes it's closed, then they're lying about going to the moon.
If you're worrying about the atmosphere, it's a closed system.
Atmosphere's an oxymoron. Air takes the shape of its container, it doesn't take the shape of a sphere.
Yes, we know that, Nathan. You spout this rhetoric over and over and over. Pretty sure we dealt with that one last Flat Earth Friday, didn't we? Now, recently and naturally, Nathan's views have started to dip a little bit, so he's lined up some more videos about me. Dear oh dear, Nathan, has conning people about the shape of the Earth started to get a bit too difficult? Diddums. Right, there is another Flat Earth fail compilation done and dusted. Still, the fails continue. Thank you all very much for watching today. It truly is appreciated. It really is. If you like today's Flat Earth fail compilation, then please do pop a like on the video and subscribe as well. Just enough time to once again thank Raycon for sponsoring. Remember, visit buyraycon.com/SimonDan to get 20% off your Raycon purchase. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday for the first of the 2021 Book Club reviews. See you then.